Find the limit by considering the one-sided limits of the limit as x goes to 2 of square root of 2x minus 4. So we're going to look at the limits from the left and from the right. And before we consider these left and right-hand limits, let's think about the domain of this function. So the domain of square root of 2x minus 4. So we know to take the square root of a number, that number must be positive or 0. So we know that this argument under the square root, 2x minus 4, must be greater than or equal to 0. And we solve for x. And we get that x is greater than or equal to 2. That means that our function is defined from 2 to infinity, including 2. But it is not defined for numbers less than 2. That means for our right-hand limit, when we're looking at x approaching 2 from the positive side, this limit is defined and we can plug in 2. We get the square root of 0, which is 0. So the right-hand limit is 0. However, on the left, our function is not defined for these values, for the numbers to the left of 2. That means we could think about the limit and see what happens as we approach 2 from the left. So I'm going to make a table of values. We're going to approach 2 from the left. So 1, 1.5, and 1.9. If we plug in 1 for x, we get the square root of negative 2. If we plug in 1.5 for x, we get the square root of negative 1. If we plug in 1.9 for x, we get the square root of negative 0.2. And these function values, these outputs, are not defined, because those x values were not part of the domain. That means that this limit, as x approaches 2 from the left, does not exist. Since the limit from the right is 0, the limit from the left does not exist, that means that the limit, as x goes to 2, of square root of 2x minus 4 does not exist.